Good evening. Welcome to Sunday Night Satsang with myself, John Homewood, and...
Myself, Michelle McLuhan.
Are you sure you're yourself?
I think I am. I was just now.
Welcome to Sunday with us, and thank you for giving up a little bit of time to be here in this place. Hello, Merlene.
Hi, Merlene.
Yeah, this
Thanks
is
for joining us.
This is important work that we do here on a Sunday, just to be. It's hardly work, and it's nice. It's nice to be, just to be for a short while, and to connect with our hearts. And tonight we're going to be talking about the power of frequency, and that's very much about connecting with our hearts. So welcome. Hello, is that Claire Cockett? Is that who we have there?
I can't see clearly.
Just let us know in the comments box who we are talking to. We like to know who we're talking to. We can't always see their little faces that come up on the screen.
Yeah, and where you're from, if you are joining us for the first time.
Yeah, let us know where you are.
Yeah.
Thank you. And we love getting those hearts. Thank you for those. And if you find anything of value in what we have to share tonight, please press the like and the share button. Thank you.
We're going to get going, start, and then people can join as they join, I guess.
Yeah.
Hello, Shelley.
Hello, Shelley. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. I think people are having a few issues with load shedding, so we'll just see how we go. Yeah, we're going to have load shedding at 8, so hopefully the call won't drop. If for any reason it does, if we disappear, we'll come back onto Facebook. But it shouldn't.
No, it shouldn't.
Just sometimes it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for those hearts.
Hello,
Thank
Diane.
you. Hello, Diane. Yeah. And the kisses, Diane. Thank you for that. Yeah, so let's just bring ourselves fully into this time and this space. I know we've had a weekend and maybe a lot of things happening during the weekend. Maybe had friends and family around, and that always stirs up different situations in us, maybe pleasurable moments, maybe challenging moments. But let's just use this time right now just to drop all of that, to let all that go, and just to be fully present in the most sacred place we can be in, which is the here and now, which is the present moment. Hello, Christine, from a very chilly UK. I believe it's been cold up there, and in Italy as well. I believe it's been cold there as well. Yeah, so welcome. So whatever you've been busy with today, let's just let that go for a moment, and let's just come fully into this wonderful body of ours. So you might like to settle back into your chairs. You can do it open-eyed if you want. We start with a little meditation. Thank you for all those hearts. But you can close your eyes and just center your awareness inwards if you like as well. That helps. It helps to maybe light a candle. It's just a symbolic representation of the light that's our true essence, our true being. We always light a candle. You can see some candles behind us.
One here too.
And we've always got a candle with us as well. So that's what we do, just to focus attention in the light, So if you're going to close your eyes, just gently close your eyes and just bring your awareness out of your story, out of your thoughts, out of your mind, and just rest your awareness in the pristine stillness of the present moment, the quiet space between our thoughts, the quiet, empty space between what happened and what might happen in the future, between past and future. So we take a moment to just withdraw our attention from all other times and all other places and just become centered in our awareness in the present moment. And one of the tools that we do that is just to become aware of our feet. Such a simple technique whenever you're stressed or worried or concerned, or if you're in pain or discomfort, just to bring your awareness into your feet. By dropping your awareness, your attention into your feet, you become centered in the present moment, because the only way that you can truly feel your feet is if you do withdraw your mind from your story, come down into the body. And the body is the portal into the present moment. It's the portal into healing, into transformation. So we bring our awareness into our right foot, into the big toe on the right foot, just becoming aware of that toe. Say thank you to the big toe on your right foot for being there. Certainly makes life a lot easier. Become aware of the big toe on your left foot now. Just shift your awareness there. This is the awareness of life, because your feet are alive right now. And you bring your awareness into alignment with that life, the life that animates your body. Right now, your heart is beating, so let's just bring our attention into the middle of our chests, and with the faculty of hearing, just see if we can pick up the pulse from our heart as it is pushed through the eardrums. Just spend a few moments in quietness listening to see if you can in fact pick up your heartbeat in your eardrums. And as you listen, become more aware of your body. Become aware of where your hands are pressing or touching. Become aware of the chair that you're sitting on. Feel the sensation coming into your body. Become aware of the temperature of the room on your cheeks. Become aware of any pictures behind your eyelids, any colors or shapes. And now take a very deep breath in, drawing the air right the way down to the body. Make it a slow, beautiful, relaxing breath in, and a beautiful, slow, relaxing breath out. Just dropping your shoulders, relaxing your neck as you breathe out. Take a second, very deep breath in, right down to those toes again, right down to the toes, blowing your whole body up, and then that beautiful, relaxing, surrendering breath out. Letting go. Third, very deep breath in, filling your whole lungs up from the bottom to the top. Fill, fill, fill. And then that beautiful, relaxing sigh out. And as you sigh out, just bring your attention deeper into the present moment, into your body, into the here and now. And we are withdrawing our mind from the personality, from the egoic self, from the thinking mind, from the stories that we've been telling ourselves today. We withdraw our awareness and our attention from any future time, any future place. And we become supremely focused in the here and now, in the present moment. The heart is always beating in the present moment. And by bringing our attention to focus on our eardrums in this way, we can hear the beating of our heart. We immediately align with presence, and in aligning with presence, we align with our heart. We align with this beautiful field emanating from our heart. And as we surrender to the present moment, our heart becomes more coherent. It goes into a coherent beat, a rhythm, a smooth rhythm, physically expanding the energy around us, opening our heart to receive the beautiful impulses from the hearts of all of those that we connect with. So let's use the power of intention right now to connect with everyone on the Satsang tonight, known and unknown. Let's just set the intention to form a beautiful field of connection between us all right now. And as we do this, we can see a beautiful light emanating from our hearts, radiating out into the world. See it as a beautiful bubble of peacefulness, tinged with a joyfulness and a sense of gratitude for this beautiful moment that we are experiencing now, this unique unique present moment. And say thank you. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for connecting in this sacred way. Thank you to life, the life that beats our hearts, the life that enables us to breathe, and to be aware of the floor beneath our feet and the chair that we're sitting on, to feel the temperature of the room on our cheeks, this intelligence called life. We say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we feel this gratitude in our hearts, here and now. This is the meaning of life. The true meaning of life is to connect with love, with life, with presence in the here and now. We send a blessing to those people who need healing right now, in this moment. We bring them into our awareness, and we don't try and fix them in any way at all. We just bring them into the bubble of awareness, the bubble of light, the bubble of presence, this beautiful blue-white light. And we just allow them to rest here in this beautiful still energy of the here and now. We say thank you to Mother Gaia for providing all our needs. We say thank you to the unseen light workers who surround the earth and support her as we go through this time of transformation, this birthing of the new earth. We say thank you to all those light workers who are dedicating themselves at the moment to this beautiful, beautiful process of transformation, of awakening. And take another very deep breath in, right down to your toes this time and to the top of your head. And let it all go. And maintaining this inner peacefulness, this stillness, this quietness, this gentleness, this softness. When you're ready, you may open your eyes. Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Thank you. Thank you.
That is lovely. Feels calm and peaceful now.
Good. Good.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, welcome tonight. The power of frequency is what we're going to be looking at tonight. The power of frequency. What do the stars have to say to us at the moment?
Well, I did my new moon thing, which it was yesterday, but we're still definitely in that now because it's still very new. So we're right at the beginning of the moon cycle, so it's what everything I said there is still still relevant. So we've entered into Aquarius season, which is...
Age of Aquarius.
Well, it's not the age of Aquarius. That's not the age of Aquarius, because the sun moves into Aquarius every year. But the age of Aquarius is a much bigger age.
I was thinking of the song Hair from the...
Age of Aquarius.
And I was thinking I was going to grow hair now because we're in the age of Aquarius. No.
I don't think so, John.
Oh dear.
I think that ship sailed.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
But yeah, so Aquarius is the energy of, it's an air energy actually. A lot of people think it's water, but it's not. It's air. And we have a lot of air at the moment. There's a lot. And air is thoughts. It's mind. It's active. It's active. People are looking for vision. They're looking for a way forward. They're looking for clarity. There's a lot of busyness in the mind. And that busyness has kind of got to be balanced. But on a bigger level, this is also connected to what I spoke about in my video, which is Pluto moving into Aquarius in a couple of months' time. So we are entering into a much, 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 much longer cycle, where the emphasis, as I see it, one of the emphases is going to be that we're going to be realizing more and more that we are frequency, that we are energy, that we are not just this physicality. And that as such, that's exciting, that's inspiring, because it's paradigm shifting. And I think what we're seeing on our planet and we have been for a good few years now, is the breaking down of old paradigms. The educational system, the economic system, the medical system, you name it, political systems, they are breaking down. The old paradigm is dissolving, and so a new vision is being born, a new earth is being born, and that's an earth which is not aligned to us just being matter and wanting more matter, wanting more things. It's more that we are frequency beings. So every Sunday we get together and we shift into another frequency, and by us doing that, that goes into the field of energy. So it's very important that we're sitting here, whether there's 2 of us, 3 of us, 20 of us, 50 of us, it doesn't matter. It's that we're actually holding a specific frequency, and that's, I reckon, probably the most important thing that we can be doing.
It is.
What do you think?
It is the most important thing we can be doing, is becoming aware of the frequency we hold within us. And if we go back to quantum physics, the birth of quantum physics, and Max Planck and Niels Bohr and Einstein and those guys, they started to see through the illusion that matter was base reality, and they started to see energy as base reality. And prior to that, we had Nikola Tesla, who is the inventor of alternating current, electricity as we know it, the inventor of radio and radar and remote controls and all sorts of things. His name has been pretty much forgotten in history because he invented free energy, and so he was sort of wiped out of the history books. We can't have free energy. And but he said, if you want to know the nature of reality, think in terms of frequency, of vibration, of energy. And that was the foundation of the work that Nikola Tesla was doing. And it's absolutely true. And yet that was discovered, from a physics point of view, 100 odd years ago. And yet we're still stuck in the materialistic paradigm. And we believe that if we want to fix something in ourselves or in our lives or in the world around us, we have to physically do something to manipulate physical stuff around us. So, for example, if we're feeling unhappy, we want to manipulate physical stuff around us so that we can feel better. And that manipulation may involve changing a relationship, changing a job, changing the environment, but it can also be more subtle, like, for example, changing the chemistry. So we take a pill to change chemistry in the brain to help us feel better. We're still in that old mechanistic way of wanting to change solid things so that we can feel better. And yet quantum physics clearly shows that it's frequency that alters physical matter. So yes, you can reverse engineer it, and if you change something physically, you feel better. But you feel better because you've changed your perception inside yourself, not because that external thing made you feel better. For example, being a male, we love cars generally, and if you get in your car, you feel great, you feel good, and you mistake it for the physical object giving you a feeling. Now, I absolutely guarantee you that sheet of metal, painted metal with rubber tires, didn't give you anything. It didn't give you joy. You gave yourself joy. You gave yourself permission to feel joy. You changed your internal state by changing your perception. And one of the biggest things was that in that moment, you gave up wanting something other than what is. You were very happy with the isness of the moment, so you started to feel good about it. But it's to recognize that we have that power to change our frequency every single moment of the day. To take back our power from the world of objects and things and situations and circumstances and relationships, and realize that the real power we have within us is the frequency we hold within us. And the 2 areas of frequency that we can work with is the frequency of the thoughts we think and the frequency of what happens here in our body, which is called emotions or feelings.
Yeah, I think what you said there was really interesting still in terms of the car, that you get the new car and you think the car's giving you joy. But actually at that moment that you get into the car and you feel joy, you've actually given up wanting. You've given up future. You're not reaching for something. So you've actually gone into presence. It's like maybe a woman gets a beautiful new dress and she feels amazing. She's gone into presence, into her true worth, into her true value. She can see her true beauty. She's actually gone into that vertical, into that present state. And I think that this shift that we're experiencing is a momentous shift, because for the last 22 years, we have been very, very caught up in capitalism, and not that capitalism's bad per se, but in the reaching for more things, for more things, for more things. If I just get more things, and I get more security, and I get a better relationship, and a better job, and a bigger house, then I'll be happy. And the move that's going to be taking place with Pluto moving into Aquarius is not matter. It's formless. It's frequency. As John said, we can. This is us moving from one paradigm to another paradigm. So it's like we're in between worlds. We still attach our security, many of us, to the outside world, to the job, the car, the house, the new car. We attach that because that's the way we've been programmed. That's the way what we've known since day one. This is part of an even bigger cycle. So this is now we're changing that paradigm from that's what defines me, and that's what gives me happiness or gives me joy, to no, hang on a second, I can choose whether I want to be in a frequency of joy and love, or if I want to be in a frequency of fear and anxiety and trepidation, sadness, whatever it is. It is a choice, because we can choose to change our state in any moment. And that for me is what this consciousness, this shift in consciousness is. It's away from the conditioned belief and it's almost like a knee-jerk reaction. We do the same thing, we get an emotional reaction, then we do that. Or we get up and the first thing we do is we find ourselves making coffee. It's a habit. It's a habitual thing. Then we have a shower, then we do this, then we do that. And we just go through, and it's the same with our thoughts. Our thoughts go into these ritual kind of ruts where they just go round and round and round. And you might find yourself complaining about something over and over again, or saying the same words. I'm not good enough, over and over again, or I can't do this, or I'm scared of that, or what happens in my old age, or there isn't enough X, Y, Z. And we're not conscious of it because it's a deep rut. And so this is a time where we're becoming conscious of it as it happens, and being able to say, I can change this. I don't actually have to go down that. And that for me, that's what this is about. This big cycle. This is not just a 2-week cycle.
No.
This is a cycle that's going to take a lot of us to the end of our lives.
Yeah.
It's that realization, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And that realization is a realization that energy, that frequency, is more important than the material universe.
Yeah.
It sounds so simple, and we've heard it. How many times have we heard this? And yet, do we fully realize the power behind that statement? That frequency, energy, is more important than physical matter. Are we able to live it in our lives? Because that's what we're going through at the moment. It's not about acquiring more knowledge. We've got the knowledge. Most of us have got the knowledge. It's a case now, can we apply this to every single moment of our lives? So just think for a moment. When you wake up in the morning, how much time do you spend thinking about your doingness for the day ahead? And how much do you spend in setting the right frequency within you for the day ahead? The right frequency in your heart and in your head. We know that the heart puts out an electromagnetic frequency. The electric part is 100 times more powerful than the brain. And we know that the heart puts out a frequency, a magnetic frequency, 5,000 times more powerful than the brain. And yet when we wake up in the morning, we tend to go into the brain. It's the heart that is more powerful. This is where our true power of frequency lies in our heart. So when we wake up in the morning, and just reflect in your own lives right now, how much time when you wake up in the morning do you spend in your heart, and how much time when you wake up in the morning do you spend in your head? Just think about that for a moment. The head is your servant. It's not meant to be worshipped. It's not meant to be lived in. It's meant to be used as you would use the services of a servant. We are meant to live here in this. This is our creative center. This is our real power to create what it is we want. This is a manipulated, programmed, perverted almost level of consciousness. This is our true authentic being. Now, as we start to value frequency and energy over physical matter, so we start to spend more time here. We start to trust what is going on here more than what is going on in the head. So it's for us, as we move through our day, first of all, to set up that window in the morning, first thing in the morning, to spend time in the heart. And that's why it's important, for example, to make a habit of doing a meditation first thing in the morning before you get out of bed. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes of just being in this space, setting up that frequency of love. Now, what is love but connection for all of life? Not just about you getting your needs met. This is a frequency of abundance for all of humanity, not just abundance for your own life. This is a matter of security for all of life, not just for you and those preferential relationships that you have, but for all of life. So I would really urge you, every one of you, to be more mindful when you first wake up in the morning, to spend that time in peace here in the morning. I was just having a conversation with someone a bit earlier, and he was saying that there are days when he wakes up in the morning and he spends a little bit of time in peace. He connects with nature, stands on his balcony and looks at the hills or the lagoon that he's on at the moment. And when he does that, the day ahead opens up. When he wakes up in the morning and starts programming and planning and strategizing his schedule for the day ahead, the day goes badly. But when he spends time centering himself in his heart, his day opens up far better. So that's number one, is when you wake up in the morning, start valuing the time you spend in your heart rather than investing in this mind.
Yeah, because the other thing about nature, I mean, I love to do that. I love to get up and actually go and sit outside, because nature opens and connects. So I find that I'm able to drop into that heart space much easier if I'm actually able to connect to nature. Just that on its own. That is, in a sense, a meditation. And a meditation mustn't become another doingness. Like, I better do this because I must just get to the end of this 10 minutes, because then you're missing it. It's just to actually go into a present state, because in that present state, that's the realm of creativity. When you open your heart, you're opening up your creative being and your creative flow. So it's quite interesting, because this move into Aquarius, the opposite sign to Aquarius is Leo, and Leo rules the heart. It rules personal sovereignty. It rules creativity, how we actually take our unique essence and shine it out into the world. So it's the counter, it's the antidote to too much mind. And we're moving into a time historically in our collective that, yes, there's a sense of us moving more into community, because that's going to be necessary, but there's also a huge drive towards technology and to digitization. And for me, the balance point to that is the heart, is nature, is grounding. It's going out of here, out away from the screens sometimes. Give ourselves a break from the screen. Just be, just sit, just listen. Listen to the sounds, watch a bird, play with a cat, watch the grass growing. Literally, just be with nature. Because nature is going to be our, it's like our anchor. It's our sense of, it's our savior going forward. When John and I go for a walk in the forest or on the beach or whatever, we both say, this is not even a nicety anymore. It's essential. Because there's a lot of frequency changes. And we are changing frequency. And it's unsettling. It can feel unsettling. For a lot of people are very lost right now because the old paradigm is dying, and their old way of defining themselves is doesn't work anymore. So they can't define themselves as that anymore. So now, who are they? Where are they? Where's the future? We don't know. Where we're going to be? We don't know. Because it's completely uncharted territory that we're moving into. Completely. None of us alive have ever been through this. So it's uncharted. So we need to have an anchor. We need to have something which we can come back to, which helps us to actually move through whatever comes up, whatever challenges come up, whatever amazing opportunities come up. If we've lined ourselves up in the morning and then we revisit that throughout the day, and to become more and more conscious also, I believe, of where our thoughts are going. We spoke, where we're sending our power, where we're sending our thoughts. What are my thoughts doing? That's the consciousness. It's, I see, I'm actually very critical about X, Y, Z. And how does it feel energetically when I'm being critical or judgmental? How does it feel when I'm feeling anxious? What's the energy that I'm giving out? I meet this other person and it feels weird. What within me is actually reflecting that? Where's my energy? So it's like us taking responsibility for our own frequency, our own vibration.
It is to realize that you are responsible for your own frequency. No one else, not your mother, not your boss, not your spouse, not the weather, not the government. You are responsible for your frequency. And being conscious enough to choose which frequency you want to invest your unique energy in. And you said something earlier, it doesn't matter of self-definition. In the past, we have tried to define ourselves through the material world, through the reflection of the material world. And doing this is very much part of that material world. So we know ourselves as human doings, when in fact the real frequency of upliftment comes through knowing ourselves as human beings, and to make the being more important to us than the doing part.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that you don't do. It means that your doingness comes from a place of being. Because a lot of people say, but what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to just sit and all day? No, you're just supposed to, not supposed to, but when you're actually in presence and you're being, the creativity, your heart opens, the creativity flows through you, and the next doingness that you need to do appears. It's different. It's a shift, isn't it? It's from I need to do that in order to feel a certain way, to I can actually feel the certain way, and that'll feed into my doing.
Yeah, they say before enlightenment, chop wood and carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood and carry water. The doingness might remain the same, but how you do the doingness, that's the difference. You take your beingness into all your doingness, and you're not looking for your doingness to give you beingness, because you have your beingness already. You've already chosen your frequency of being, so you're not looking for your doing to bring you that frequency of being. You already have that. And so the doingness becomes more a dance, an enjoyment of life, rather than a need to get somewhere. To realize one thing, the law of attraction has been quite important in the last 10 odd years in people's awareness, the law of attraction. But I'm going to suggest that it is true, but if we can look at it slightly differently, if we can see it rather than trying to attract what we want in our lives, and then we try to manipulate our internal environment to get something, which is what the law of attraction all is about. I'd rather suggest seeing the universe as a mirror of my frequency. That's all, very simple. And whatever I am experiencing in my outer reality is being mirrored by the frequency which I'm already holding within me. Yeah. So in the Bible it says, ask knowing that it is already so, and it shall be. In other words, you create the frequency of it is being so within you, and the outside mirrors that frequency back to us. So I think it's to take responsibility for what we are feeling here and to see it mirrored in the world around us. And then to start choosing what we want to be mirrored back by the universe around us, by choosing to live more in alignment with the heart's desires rather than the ego's desires. The ego desires are always for self-aggrandizement, for self-security, for manipulation, where the heart has none of that. So the frequencies that align with the vertical plane that we talk about are frequencies of kindness, of compassion, of empathy, of care, of love, of joy, of gratitude. Those are the frequencies that once we realize that this is the power and we start holding those consciously in our awareness, we start finding them mirrored in our relationships, in our careers, in our physical circumstances. So I think that's quite an important shift from wanting to attract something into our life, which again is manipulative, rather than realizing that this is a mirror. And I am responsible for what is being mirrored in my life right now in this moment. So it's not doing it for a future outcome. Right now, I want to feel good. I'm going to choose to feel good right now. I'm going to feel joy right now in this moment. I'm going to feel grateful right now in this moment. And in that moment of frequency, instantly there is a change in perception, and you find your external world of matter changes a bit more slowly, but changes. Energy changes instantaneously. You change your state, you change energy instantaneously. The physical world is heavier, it's held by gravity, and takes a bit longer to change around us. But then it doesn't matter, because we're not doing this change in frequency to manipulate matter. We're doing it because we want to feel better. And we can feel better in an instant if we choose to be responsible for what we're feeling now. Because as we choose feelings of joy or fulfillment or enough,ness within us now, that changes our endocrine system. It changes the neuropeptides going through our body. We automatically feel better. Then we don't need external circumstance to change, because we're already feeling better. And most of the time we want to manipulate external circumstances because we want to feel better. And that becomes unnecessary when you start taking full responsibility for what you are creating in your inner being right now, in this moment.
Yeah. I think also, we in order to actually be conscious of where your frequency is, where our frequency is, you need to go into presence, because when you're here and you're getting thrown around by whatever's happening, whatever you're hearing on the news, or somebody's talking to you and your mind's going and their minds are going and there's a whole lot of chatter, you can't at that point, it's very difficult to actually now, in the midst of that, while you're in a polarized state, actually make a different choice. So we get lost in it. We go off onto a tangent, and we find ourselves getting carried away with the drama, or getting carried away with the story that someone's telling us, or getting carried away with our own story that we're telling ourselves. So this coming back to presence is the place that we can shift it. Because as soon as you're in presence, you are shifting your vibration, you're shifting your frequency, you're rewriting the patterns in your neurology. That's just the way it is. They've done tests on it. That is what happens. But you've got to actually, our role in that is to bring ourselves back. And so as soon as you become aware of it, you have a moment of presence, you become aware of it, you can bring yourself back. If you don't have that moment of presence, you're not going to bring yourself back. You might only bring yourself back after 10 minutes of going on a whole thing. That's okay. You can still go, I got lost in the matrix. I got lost in the story. I can choose not to do that. So I can choose to be more present, in which case I won't go off on so many tangents. So it's like that pendulum swing. The pendulum starts to swing less violently from side to side, past, future, story, all over the place, and it starts to actually come back into a sense of balance. And that's the practice. That's the practice. And it doesn't necessarily happen overnight. It's a practice. And I believe that that's what we're building now. And it's not a nice thing to do. It's not, I'll do it because maybe I should. It's, well, do you want to be free? Or do you want to be in struggle for the rest of your life? That's the choice. It's a choice. And it can sometimes sound insensitive, because we choose to go into suffering.
Yeah.
We don't think that we do. We blame it on the outside world. It's because of that I'm in suffering. It's because I'm not well. It's because of my situation, my financial situation. It's that. It's the blaming of the outside when actually we're responsible for our inner state.
Yeah,
that's maturing.
This change is an inside-out job, not an outside-in job. It's an inside-out job. It's changing the frequency here, and then it'll be reflected in the world around us. And, going back to a big world event, let's look at in 2001 when 9/11 happened. There were some satellites, I think they were called I can't remember, it was GOES, GOES. And it was a satellite around the Earth that was measuring frequency coming from Earth. They can measure this. And what they found is that 15 minutes after those planes hit, or so-called planes hit, whenever, there was a massive shift in measurable frequency emanating from the Earth. And that showed the power that we have as a collective to change frequency. And maybe that was a frequency of fear, but it was a collective frequency of fear. That is then mirrored in the collective experience in the physical world. Now, this shift that we're going through now is to create a new world, a more connected world, a more empathetic world, a more abundant world. And yes, we need to make it in a collective way, but it starts with the individual. Each one of us is a drop of water in that ocean. So each one of us has to begin with self. We have to begin with this frequency that we hold within us. No good waiting for them to change. We have to be the change we desire to see in the world. And the more we anchor our frequency of vibration in the field of love, of compassion, of caring, of empathy, of joy, of forgiveness, of gratitude, that uplifts it and makes it easier for other people to also step into this frequency as well. So we make it easier for others to follow this frequency that we hold within us. Don't wait for your partner to change. Don't wait for your mother-in-law to change. Don't wait for the government to change. Don't wait for anything. Do it now. And so I mentioned earlier about the importance of doing this heart work when you first wake up in the morning, because that's when, particularly if you do it at dawn, between the night and the day is an open portal to frequency and vibration, to a new creative energy. But also your mind is less active, so it's easier to do it there. But once you move into your day, do it constantly during the day. Come back every few minutes. What is my frequency inside me right now? Which world am I busy creating inside myself right now with the frequencies I'm holding? I'm upset with the traffic. Is that going to create the world I want to experience in the future? Not at all.
The traffic. It isn't going to do either.
So whatever is being experienced in your external world, come back. How am I feeling about it right now? What is the frequency that I'm holding within me right now? Is that the frequency that I want to build a new earth for myself, my children, my grandchildren to live in? And if not, bring yourself back to what Michelle said, that vertical plane, that plane of presence. That's where our power lies.
And this is where the new vision comes in, basically for the next, I'm going to call it 22 years, actually. We're at the birthing of a new vision for a new earth, new world. And so the vision is, where do I want to focus my vision? Where do I want to focus it? Where am I focusing it? Oh my goodness, I'm actually focusing my vision over there right now. I'm going to bring my vision back. How do I want to feel? I choose to feel this in this moment. I notice there's a thought there that's taking me back there. I'm coming back. And I'm opening my heart every time I do that. You know, they did an experiment years ago with Drunvalo, where a few times actually, where they got a group of people sitting in a circle meditating, just being in presence, meditating, and they lifted pollution out of cities to the point where the government sent in people to actually see what they were doing, because as they were sitting meditating, the pollution was just thick kind of black pollution. There was just a hole appeared and blue sky was above them. Now, I mean, that's just it's a physical manifestation, but the power of each person, each one of us, actually, they say that when you're in a heart-based place, when you're in a normal space, you sort of your energy feels relatively small. When you open your heart, it can stretch for miles. So as you are opening your heart, your energy field is stretching for miles. And what you're doing is you're bringing other people in to your energy field just by being present. That is what shifts the world. That's what shifts pollution. That's what shifts complete paradigms. That's what creates miracles. When suddenly you've got 10 people, but now this is spread for hundreds, thousands of kilometers, because there's no distance with frequency. So if you send out an intention of love to someone, you are actually sending out love to that person. You're not just saying it. When you press little hearts on the screen, you actually are sending out love. It's an intention. You're intentionally sending out good vibes. And that's actually going out into the universe. Yes. And that's where we each have the power to actually shift this into something that we've never seen before. And that's exciting. We've all shown up for that. That's freedom. It's liberation.
Yeah, you mentioned there about vision.
Yeah.
And it's really a case of focusing your frequency in the direction that you want rather than the direction you don't want. So much of the world is being created to pervert us, to put our attention on what we don't want. War, for example, in Ukraine, and what's going on in the medical situation, for example, and what's going to happen in the future with climate change and all of that. And every time we give our attention to that, we are increasing the energy in that particular direction. So it's very important to know where you are focusing your energy, your intention, your energy. If you take a magnifying glass and you say hold it on a sunny day and you have a piece of paper underneath, that paper can start burning. Why? Because you've taken the focus of the sun from this much and you bring it down to a tiny point in the middle. And just by taking that and condensing it to that, you increase the energy maybe 10-fold, maybe 15-fold, and you create a fire on that paper. It's the same with our intention that we hold within us, within our thoughts and within our feelings. It's really important. Now, on Thursday, we start a free week course called Vision 2023. And it's a week's workshop, which is the first leg of our 13-week Journey to Freedom course. First week is free, completely free. Anyone can come. We invite you all to come. And it's really, we're going to be looking at your focus for these coming months, your focus for 2023. Where is your focus? What can you do to improve the power of your frequency in the days, months, weeks to come? What can you do to do that? And where would you like to focus that? Have you spent time envisaging your own future?
Yeah, how you want to feel, how you want to be in the world.
Yeah.
So that's really what the focus is, and that focus that we're using for the first week that we've zeroed in on is very in keeping with what's happening in the next few months, firstly, and then that opens the door to us doing Journey to Freedom, which we're really going to be plumbing down into this Journey to Freedom. So we're going to be doing the modules that we've done, but with a really big emphasis on really bringing ourselves back. Where is your energy? Where is your power? Where is your thought? Where are your thoughts? And honing that over a period of 13 weeks, because it's a practice. And very many people do it and then they stop doing it. And then they go back to the old pattern, because that old pattern is a rut. And we're busy clearing out of that old pattern. And we're in between. So it's very easy to just slip back into it. It's like your wheels going into a dirt road, into the rut in a dirt road. One rain, your wheels go right back into the same rut, because it's a rut. So we are lifting ourselves out of that rut, out of our old conditioning. And in order to do that, we need to see it. We need to be conscious of it. We need to see where our blind spots are, where our conditioning is, where our insecurities are. It's okay to have them. It's to see them so we can actually transcend them. Because this is a time of transcendence. We can transcend all of it in the next few years. And it's going to take us all to do that. And it's not going to be done by some savior on a white horse coming flying in to save us. It's all of us, each one of us sitting on this call. Because the more we do it, the more that energy goes out. I almost like to see it like you've got a golden orb around you, and that just grows bigger and bigger and bigger, filled with light and with love. And then that sort of merges with the next one, and that becomes bigger. And the next thing you know, you've just got love. There's a vibration, a frequency of love. And that conquers dark. Darkness can't survive in light. Just light one candle and the darkness is gone.
Yeah. And awareness is the greatest agent for change. So as you become aware of your own frequency, as you become aware of who and what you are, as you become aware of the power of presence in your life, you'll pay it more attention. And as you pay it more attention, it expands. So this 13-week journey to freedom is very much about creating greater levels of awareness, peeling off the layers and layers of unconsciousness, of ignorance that we have created to who and what we really are, to the freedom, the joy, the abundance that we really are. It's increasing and heightening your level of consciousness, awareness, to become more and more aware of the truth of who and what you are, compared to the old programming of the mind, which gets its identity from what you have, what you do, what other people think of you, your education, etc. To step out of that old paradigm, to step out of the old matrix, to become free. That's the work that we will be doing over the 3 months.
Yeah,
it's on Thursday night. Our details are on journeysofAwakening.com. There should be a link below this in one of our feeds, which you can directly sign up.
Yeah, and if you haven't signed up for the free week, come. It's free. Come for the free week. It's worthwhile just doing the free week, even if you don't join us for the full journey. And it's very easy to sign up.
So just to recap before we end tonight, just to know a couple of things. First of all, the frequency in which you hold inside your heart is determining what's being mirrored in your physical world around you. Just know that, and pay it more attention to what you're feeling here rather than to the external world. That's really, really important. And to know that whatever you focus your attention on will grow. Absolutely, it will grow. It will grow. So as to realize how powerful we are individually and collectively in determining the destiny of what happens on Mother Earth. Very important. You're going to raise our frequency with a meditation, and let's just choose a card which you can maybe focus your meditation on. So we've got these lovely cards here. Choose one.
Let's see which one comes up today. Oh, here we go.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. One of my favorite ones. That's lovely.
Okay. All right, so let's just, you're all, I'm sure, quite relaxed already, but let's just settle in, make yourself even more comfortable, and take a beautiful deep breath in, and then release on the out breath. And let's just take a deep breath in, and a releasing sigh out. Just let it all go in this moment. I breathe in for 5 counts. Hold for 5 counts. Breathe out for 5 counts. And be empty for 5 counts. Just focusing on that breath. You can do that again. Breathing in, 5. Holding for 5. Releasing for 5. And just being empty for 5. It's almost like a box breath. Just feel your full focus on your breath. When you focus on your breath, you're not thinking. Just allow yourself to come back into presence. Relax your body. There's nowhere to go, nothing you have to do right now, other than just be here, listening to the sounds around you. Placing full attention on what you can hear. Noticing what you can smell as you breathe in. What you can see before your eyes or behind your eyes. And what you can feel, what you're feeling in your body. If you have any areas of tightness in your body, just gently breathe into those areas and release them. If a thought comes in, imagine that it's just a cloud in the sky and just watch it drift on by. And just come back to the blue, the clarity, the clearness. Just feeling into this space. The little spaces in between the breaths, in between the thoughts. Those spaces of peace. Presence. And just feel what happens in your body when you're in this peaceful state. Feel the expansiveness of the energy, of the frequency. Place your full attention on your right hand. All of your attention on your right hand. And you'll feel an energy in your right hand. This is the frequency. This is a frequency that's flowing through you. It expands and extends way beyond your physical body. Now focusing on your heart, sending this gentle breath right into the middle of your heart. And as you focus on your heart, bringing attention to this heart center, allow yourself for a few moments to consider how you would like to feel, how you really enjoy feeling. And conjure this up in your imagination and your awareness, how it would feel to feel like this, where you feel it in your body, what it feels like. Notice whether it has a color. Might even have a sound. It may have a texture. Just allow yourself to open to this feeling. Might have a word associated with it. And place this Imagine it being placed right in the center of your heart, like a spark of light. Setting this beautiful new moon intention right in the middle of your heart. How you wish to feel. What you'd like to focus in on. The frequency that you'd like to shine out into the field, into the earth, into your community, your world. And as we stay in this present state, I read the card that I pulled for tonight. Just allow these words to be part of this beautiful energy. I am enlightened and I radiate peace into the world. Feel what those words feel like as you say them. You might say them after me to yourself. Breathing it in. I am enlightened and I radiate peace into the world. Just feeling into that expanded, beautiful space. Feeling gratitude for being here, gratitude for the group of people that has joined us tonight, and setting an intention to radiate this energy this evening and for the week ahead. And taking a deep breath in and out. You can open your eyes.
Thank you. Beautiful. It's all about radiating the peace. I radiate the peace into the world. Beautiful. Bless
Thanks
you all.
everyone.
Thank you for being with us tonight. We look forward to catching up with you next Sunday for Sunday Satsang or on Thursday night.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see you there.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks everyone. Lots of love.
Beautiful. Thank you.